Okay, so for this afternoon, I'm going to be sharing a quick demonstration of a top secret family dessert recipe, and I'm going to be making cream puffs. Now, this is not a recipe that I acquired a physical copy which had the exact amounts. It was just something that I kind of had to learn, trial and error, for a while. So over here by the kitchen stove, I have some water and some butter that's boiling. And once the butter boils and melts, I'm then going to add the dry ingredients, which is flour and salt, and I'm going to blend that together until it becomes one. Okay, so now that the butter and the water is boiling, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat, and I'm going to go ahead and add the dry ingredients, which is flour and some salt. So I gently, trying not to make a mess, I'm going to add the flour to the butter and water mixture and the table salt, trying to pour slowly without making a mess. And now that I've added both of the dry ingredients to the wet mixture, I'm going to gently blend them together until I have a solid little glob mixture. I've added the wet and the dry ingredients. I'm going to go ahead and take this mixture and put it in a bowl. And then I'm slowly going to take the mixture and then start adding eggs. And the key is to add one at a time and not try to do it all together. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start adding the eggs into the bowl. I'm going to break one egg, mix it in one at a time. And I keep mixing just until I see that the yolk is pretty mixed in. And then I'm just going to go ahead and repeat that same process until all four have been mixed in. Two down and two more to go. Oops. I'm still learning how to crack an egg. And last one. Okay, this is where my hands are going to get a little messy, only because this mixture tends to ride up the stove. Try to gently remove as much as I can before I start prepping them for the pan. with a tablespoon, I'm going to gently scoop them up and drop them onto the baking sheet. It's not an exact science, but I try to get 12 out of each batch. When I would watch my dad make these, that's just one thing that I always remember him modeling, is doing one egg at a time and not trying to do all four. I don't know if it would change maybe like the consistency of the mixture, or maybe, I honestly don't know the exact science behind it. I just remember him always modeling one egg at a time. So this recipe was actually given to my grandma, my mom's mom, and when my parents separated, he kept it. The index card that was originally written on, and so it was actually my grandma's recipe, but he kept it. So now I guess it's his recipe. It's very kind of like slime, glue. It looks sticky, but it's not too bad. There's kind of like a size that I'm going for, because I don't want them to be too small where I can't get any filling into them. And I don't want them to be too big where there's too much dough. So now that I have dropped them all onto the cooking sheet, I'm going to go ahead and place them into the oven for 30 minutes. Okay. Here's where I'm going to try not to embarrass myself, because if I burn myself, I'll probably scream. Okay. And they're in. So now I'm just going to go ahead and let them bake for 30 minutes. Let me see. I'll do 32. And that's it. So they're going to go ahead and sit in the oven for about 30 minutes, and after that time I'll take them out of the oven until they cool, and then I'll go ahead and fill them with the cream cheese. Okay, so while the cream puffs are baking in the oven, I'm going to go ahead and prepare the filling, which is cream cheese. And the three ingredients that I use is carnation evaporated milk, confectious sugar, and a block of cream cheese. I don't use exact measurements for this. It's kind of just guesstimate until I see that it's the right consistency, and I'm going to keep adding the sugar until I think it's sweet enough. And so I'm slowly going to start off by just blending slowly the block of cream cheese until it breaks up a bit. And again, I don't use exact measurements. I kind of just see more or less until it's the right consistency. And then I'll add the sugar once I get the consistency that I like with the cream cheese. I don't want it too watery because then it'll soak up the cream puffs, and that's my only concern. Alright, and now I'm going to go ahead and start adding the sugar. going to try it now for the first time to see if it is sweet enough. Maybe a tiny little bit more of the carnation milk and a little bit more of the sugar, and I think it will be done. Alright, gonna do a second taste test. And that tastes good to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause right there and wait for the cream puffs to finish baking in the oven. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out from the oven. It's been about 31 minutes, and I think they are ready. Okay. So already a good sign that they did not stick to the pan, and I'm just going to go ahead and wait maybe about a couple minutes for them to cool off before I fill them with the cream cheese filling. But it's a good sign already that none of them stuck to the pan. They have a nice golden brown color to them, and it appears that they have maintained their height without deflating. So now that the cream puff shells have cooled and the cream cheese has already been prepped, I'm going to go ahead and start filling each one individually. I have already kind of made a small hole in this incision where I'm going to go ahead and pipe the cream cheese filling into each cream puff shell and go from there. I just slowly pipe it in until I can't squeeze anymore, and then I go to the next one. So if you can see closely, I already kind of made a small hole where I pipe the cream cheese filling, and then very carefully I just pipe it into the shell as best as I can and kind of shake it in there so I can try to fit as much as I can in there so that each one has enough filling. And then when I see that I can't fill anymore, I move on to the next one. And using the one block of cream cheese, it should be enough to fill each one if I'm careful enough. And there you have it.